Considering you're giving us the space to do so, and you're setting the context for us to speak with each other, and it brings to light so many different ideas that we can come up with, and it also allows us to review old ideas we have or old videos that we have. What's right, what's wrong, checks and balances, like you said. Like, that's basically what we're doing right now. You set the precedent for that, so I can admire that as well.
Thank you. Very good. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, yeah. That was nice. I like that.
I love Pichu's energy.
The first ukulele song ever.
Did you know he's gay?
I did not.
3 chords,
Music guy?
the same 3 chords and the same progression for the whole song.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess I'll be able to learn that as well.
He's peace.
Bum, bum.
I apologize for my dying cat voice.
A, G, and then C.
AGZ? I actually got to figure out which side is my G and my C, but I can nearly make the whole drum stay within a G or a C.
Nice.
It sucks. Because then every other beat that I want, like every other rhythm I want to do, I'm going to have to change it up.
Yeah.
I make it sound islandy or
Change it up.
and that's why everyone's like, oh, I love your bongos. And I'm like, oh, that's a bongo.
Bongos? You know. Who looks at that and says
Because about
bongos?
bongos, they don't know that it's bongo is like straight cylinder.
Yeah, that
They
ain't,
don't. It just
that ain't no
this has a
bongo.
neck to it.
And a tambourine inside of it.
Yeah.
Just after we
I
left.
know, it's Latin percussion.
That's a sick
Yeah, they chilled for a while
It's easy, no
afterwards.
string.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's why I have the tambourine.
I told here Jason 8,000 times. You guys always leave early because many good things happen after you guys leave.
Yeah, this has happened several times before as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's a good thing because it means
Yeah,
that
yeah. I mean, it's building beyond what
us,
we can
right?
do. Yeah.
It's actually an opportunity for them to grow in themselves. Right. It's the same way how when I started that poetry club, but then I couldn't show up sometimes. Like y'all, like really started growing it and like they kept it going. I don't know if they're still doing it.
Oh, poetry club? You should ask Taylor.
I want it to be as loud
I
as
don't want.
possible.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
With the little doggy on it,
That's awesome.
I can't. I did so good the first part, but then the second part was not.
James. Wow. Find out later.
You don't have to know all the chords. Oh no!
Sure, I'll just play everything.
Yeah, just play everything. Go for it.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, but can you play them both accurately, or you just play them?
That was both. Oh, come on.
Not really, no. You want to join in?
We're
Go
just a
for
group
it.
that comes together every Tuesday. It's a lot more of us, but they left
You
early.
missed that about 10 minutes ago.
Well, this is just like kind of serendipitous if you're interested, but I'm making I'm directing a student film starting about now. We're starting auditions, and I'm thinking of actually
This is a movie.
samba
person.
It doesn't have to be specifically
Really?
Sega, but like definitely with kind of these instruments. That
You just heard it.
This particular group of instruments.
Oh.
Well, I've been thinking ukulele because I play some ukulele.
Yeah.
Jason,
I've also played piano.
do you know why half of the footage has been turned out in not
Last
used?
time when we had a didgeridoo on the scene.
Why? Because
A didgeridoo. Yeah, there was a didgeridoo on the scene last time.
Because you
Like,
look
it was
like this.
fun. And then the time before that, we had like, it was by random, so we had this whole DJ.
It's because
setup
I actually realized why. I actually realized why that keeps happening. It's because the best places for you to put the camera and the best places for me to do music to the group are the same location.
No, I disagree.
Well, let me
explain.
I'll give
to
you an example.
No, let me explain.
I'll give you an example because it happened and you remember.
No.
If you allow me to speak of an example, I can explain
we don't have much
what
time.
I'm saying.
We don't have much time
Then
left.
let me speak.
We don't have much time left because you are leaving at 7, right?
Do you want to hear this?
No.
Okay. Well,
I have a lot of things going on, and
let me finish because you haven't let me finish explaining, and that doesn't allow you to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. There was about 2 times ago, there was a moment where you put it up on the thing, up on the right side, and then I came over and I had my back to the thing, and you came over and said, "Hey, your back's to the camera," and I looked at you and I realized that was true. But the reason we argued for a second because I liked that space so I could look at everybody, and I realized then that the reason I was doing that is because where you put the camera and where my eyes were, it was a good space to see everyone, and that was what put me there. That's all I'm saying.
that is not a good explanation for the problem.
Okay.
The problem is that when you guys work in a circle, there is not any good angle for any camera, period.
So we have to be a stage.
So the problem is not with which position you should be. The problem is that you guys could care less about the audience. And if the camera cannot work, that means that you guys have no respect for the audience. That is the point.
I see.
So
I see.
So when you do creativity, no problem. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do performance,
Mm-hmm.
you have to give audience one view.
Mm-hmm. That's a good place to go from this point forwards. Where we were before, we needed it. It wasn't about the audience. Where we were before was about understanding our space and being with each other. Right? We needed that level of growth before we could comfortably start being a stage properly. Does that make sense?
It makes sense if you don't talk to the audience. But you talk to the audience, what passerbys, that means you are not doing what you are not doing what you are saying right now.
We're changing is the thing. Like slowly. We started out focusing inwards because we needed inwards.
I understand.
And now it's becoming outwards.
I understand. But I'm just explaining to you why your explanation is not the reason why the camera doesn't work.
Okay. So it's because we've all been focusing on the circle.
Yes. If you're making a circle, then no angle is good for the camera.
I totally understand that. And what I'm saying is we're now at a point where we can change that really well. Where we were before, we needed that inner time, right? But we have it now. So
we've only had 4 performances. That and out of the amount that we've done out of these 4 performances, we've gotten a tech crew together, performers, and we've even gathered a small audience.
Yeah.
That in itself is
we've just grown a lot.
So what I'm taking from the conversation you guys are having right now, if you don't mind, you're thinking objectively. You're thinking, how do we make it better? How do we fix maybe what's broken?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that what we have already is good enough for us to move forward out into that stage presence.
Yeah.
So I
it's
think
a
you
step-by-step
yeah,
process.
I think you guys are on the same like wavelength here.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of there's two different priorities.
No, I'm not prioritized. I don't decide what you guys should be doing. I'm just pointing out the fact that half of the footage is thrown away because it's mostly about his butt. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's bad or good. I'm
Right.
just saying that
If we want to change it,
you
you're pointing it
want
out.
your face on the video.
Right.
Okay. So
You know what to
Stage
do.
positioning.
so the thing is we have two audiences always, right? And I've been trying to figure out like what the best way to deal with the camera audience and the like people passerby audience.
In the same sense, like
yeah, exactly. Because
okay.
I can rap to like the people coming by, and then they might only be seeing my knee. You know what I mean?
I don't understand what you're saying.
So like dealing with both audiences, like as
Which audience?
so one audience is the camera.
No, the camera is not the audience.
It is for the people watching
No.
here.
No.
Okay.
When you respect an audience, then the camera will be part of that audience.
So what you're saying is all we have to do is focus on the audience walking by, and the camera will figure itself out.
You just have to pick one direction and say, that's my audience, and never give them your butt.
Okay.
That's all you have to do.
Okay.
Then the camera will be part of that audience.
What do we do at points in time where there are few people, and we like if there are few people, so we decide to make music just focusing on each other?
Like I say, you guys have to communicate. And if you say that this is the end of my show, then I can turn up the camera. If you're going to perform, then you have to have an audience.
Yeah.
But if you want to practice,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to have an audience.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to communicate that with your technical people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what? You would be pausing and unpausing and stuff?
Then I wouldn't be complaining about your butt.
Okay. So, the best audience obviously is the people walking by, right? And there will be people who sit down with us again, right?
The reason why many people did not want to join you because they only see your butt, meaning that they saw a private activity.
Uh-huh.
So you don't intentionally, but you don't realize it,
Mm-hmm.
that you turn away many people from the group.
Mm-hmm. I do realize it. Like I said, I was doing a lot of that on purpose. I was choosing to be inward focused rather than...
But you don't communicate, so nobody knows that that's what you're doing, so we didn't coordinate.
I see.
Because if that's what you're doing, then one of us could be on the other side to interact with the audience instead.
What do you mean?
The group is large. Not everyone has to be with you. One or two people could be away from your private discussion and interact with the audience. You can always take time to interact with the audience.
I get that, but that's not what I'm saying. What I meant was, again, there's been a lot of like growth in terms of skill that was needed before we could properly interact with an audience.
I understand, but what is the number one objective that I hear from Elias?
Just
public engagement.
Stage presence, public engagement.
Which
And
we needed to develop.
Yeah, exactly. We're not at a point where we are experienced performers yet. We've never been paid to go on stage, or
I'd say we're getting there.
We've had enough experience to do it again.
Yeah.
But we haven't gained enough experience to bring in 30 people.
True. But I think that's like, because this Tuesday, for me, and in the way that I saw it, was a milestone because it marked the beginning of the passerby really being drawn towards us. Like,
I agree with you.
Yeah, like when we did the Kennedy Plaza thing, people were looking over. The only reason they were looking over is because they're bored and they just hear music. You know what I mean? But this time, it was like drawn, like very drawn. Like those girls came over. Like there were several people where they were like looking at me and like
Trying dancing and trying to be a part of it, but their friends were going along. So we're noticing we're getting like pieces and people inside of groups. How do we get a whole group together collectively?
So, two things. One thing that he mentioned that was really interesting is the concept of the time, right? Like, in terms of respect is no interference, right? Like 3 o'clock, everybody's in a work mode pretty much, and that means they don't want to chill, right? Versus if we went out to that same spot on like a Friday, or like on a even just like Monday evening, like people would be bored and would be way more likely to stop, right? Versus again, 3 o'clock is really a time where every person that looks like a business person is a business person, and they're trying to get to some meeting, and everyone that looks like a student has a class or has to study or has, you know. And most Brown students are very stressed out.
That's why many good things happen after you guys leave.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
6. Because they stayed for a while.
So that's another thing we can talk about, scheduling with the group.
But not right now, please.
But yeah. And then the other point that I was going to make was in terms of getting the audience to grow and stay with us. I need your help.
No, you don't. You don't need his help. You need to decide if you want to perform or practice. We are good enough to perform.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I mean, in like literally while freestyling, you know, like.
It doesn't matter, even if you are freestyling, people are interested.
No, I know that.
In joining you.
But you
told me that.
You're misunderstanding. When I say I need his help, I literally mean like during the rap scene. Like right now, like I how do we grow your presence?
In terms of just me myself or entirely?
Like so that when we're there, it's not just, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't understand that.
He wants to know how to change my stage presence and
increase it,
or increase it at the same level that he has it at, or our own personality, like.
What do you mean by grow presence? I'm trying to understand English here.
English.
I don't understand.
Stage presence just means you and the audience are communicating with each other musically. It's not necessarily there's no interruption, or there's no stiffness, or there's no gaps that in between that. It's me having a conversation with the audience through the music we're playing.
And are you saying that you didn't?
I'm saying that I could have interacted way more than what I have been doing. Like I could definitely up the ante for sure.
Well, based on my videos, I could show you more than I could show him.
What do you mean?
Based on the videos that I've been doing, I can see more of him on the video and less of you on the video. It's not about how well you do. It's about you giving the audience a chance to look at you and your performance.
So we kind of need to basically figure out on both ends of each other how far along we can move and how much we need to stay in position. right? Because
you can move anywhere you want. But
I mean,
the audience.
no, yeah. I mean, when it comes to the audience, like we always have to face the audience.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But however, if we face the audience and we're standing still, it's still going to be awkward.
I see.
So staying in position and also keeping the movement with people.
But if you are playing an instrument and you need to be at one place to play that.
Oh
instrument,
yeah. I'm talking solely freestyling, vocal performance.
Yeah. Because there's I couldn't do a good job if I was just standing in one spot, like controlling myself on that level.
Okay. When you freestyle,
yeah,
okay, you don't have respect for audience in this way. Let me explain how you disrespect the audience.
Okay.
You block the view of the audience to watch him singing. While he's rapping, your butt is to the audience, so your face blocking us from watching him. That is something that we can fix very easily.
Okay.
That is when it's your turn to sing. The other guys have to get out of the view.
Yeah. That also does come back to the like a lot of the time when you freestyle, like it's completely to me, right? And so do you feel comfortable like looking at everybody and freestyle?
I'll look at the camera and freestyle. I have no problem with that. I've looked at the camera and rapped the whole song to the camera before.
Okay. What about
when you look at each other? Then you should look at each other like this with the audience here so that we can see both faces.
Right.
But you never look at each other like this.
Face each other.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not a problem to
be comfortable, right, in that space.
But
okay.
You give audience a chance to engage.
I can agree with that because when we do face each other and we're like, I want to rap or I want to sing, and none of us know what to do, we can have certain signals with each other when we do finally fully face each other. Like, now it's your go, or now it's your go.
And the audience appreciates that, and they get it, because that happens.
Just what I was gonna say.
In movies,
I was just gonna.
People talk to each other.
Right. That's perfect. Okay, so
that was also, it was fun to set up like with Sam when I was trying to get him to rap.
That was cool,
right? Because he just like the way dubstep, you know, it goes up, and then boom, the beat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I think one thing, the main goal that we've been accomplishing as of late is getting the public to come in and perform with us, whether it be vocally or instrumentally. Now we're focusing on how the performers reach the audience, and that seems like it's a harder thing to do, but that's just because we don't have as much experience taking all of our stuff out as opposed to bringing people in, right? So I don't know, I'm just stating the fact, right?
Yeah. So what's interesting, like every time we do this, it's really a teaching experience, you know. For like example, like this upcoming time, like in my own head, I hadn't said
sorry.
this.
I have to stop you right there because we need to move on seriously.
Okay. What I was gonna say is, that my plan was to completely focus on capturing, like talking to them.
Okay.
Right? So let's make that our mission for this Tuesday.